Until Friday, please like, subscribe, share. That fucking car is super loud. Maybe it's just this one here. Oops. What's going on, Honda budget builders? So today we're going to get started on my 1991 Honda Civic Wagon. It is an RT, which is a real-time four-wheel drive, and it is an automatic. I thought about converting it to 5-speed or the 6-speed, but the transmissions, the all-wheel drive D-series transmissions, are like crazy hard to find, and they're quite expensive. And plus, this is going to be my daily driver, and it would just be nice to not have to constantly switch gears. But I'm going to take the head off. I'm going to send it to the machine shop. I'm going to get it decked and cleaned up a little bit and replace the head gasket. Well, after 6 months of not starting, she did start. The battery will need to be replaced, but I'm going to get started on removing the head. I'm going to start removing all the electrical. I'm going to remove the distributor. There are 3 12mm bolts. Now I'm going to remove the throttle cable. Now the fuel line. I'm going to start removing the valve cover now. Now I'm going to remove the heat shield. I am very happy that she at least started. She hadn't been started in about 6 months. She's been sitting for about a year and a half, but I do start her up every so often. But I think before vacation was the last time I started her. When I get the head out and the supercharger, I'm gonna clean all this up. She's looking dirty over there and down in here. The exhaust manifold bolts will be next on the list. I do need to drain the radiator at some point, but it's impossible to get to the drain plug on this, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to replace all these studs because one of them is actually missing. Then I'm going to put ARP head bolts, and I have some extended studs for the intake side. Alright, I'm going to have to remove this bolt right here from the power steering bracket because it goes into the head. And that is a 14mm. I'm going to remove the bracket from the radiator because I'm going to try to move the radiator forward a little bit. That way I can try to get to the drain plug. Does anybody have a suggestion for the bushing that goes in the radiator bracket support? Well, I've got to remove this upper hose. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the heater water hose. I'm going to push the timing belt off, or at least try to. Right here is the tensioner for the supercharger. I'm going to release the tension and pull that belt. Now I'm trying to get that bolt loose on the tensioner. Alright, so I need to get the exhaust manifold off. So these bolts right here need to come off on both sides. Figured these bolts would be a lot harder than what they are. Alright, now there's a bolt on this bracket. There's actually supposed to be 2 there, but apparently there's only 1. Alright, so there's a bracket here. It looks like it mounts here and right there. There's 2 bolts here and then 2 there. I'm pretty sure if I remove these 2, then it'll come loose. but if not, we'll just remove them all. Alright, that seemed to have done it. Then there's also one more right there, and that should get it all. Funny, that's actually not even connected. It's probably something I half-assed when I put the supercharger on. We'll go ahead and take the bracket off though. Alright, and she's off. I believe the next thing would be the head bolts, and I got a couple of water lines I need to get. The water line right there in the center of the screen I need to remove, and there might be one other. Actually, I know there is. Let's go ahead and start removing the head bolts. The head bolts actually look like they're in really good shape. Whoa, look at that one. Look at all that dirt. I don't know what the fuck that is. And the shaft is very corroded. I think over here is where my head gasket's leaking. Alright, I just need to make sure everything's out of the way before I pull the head. The automatic transmissions on these cars use a cable to know when to shift instead of the ECU. Plus they have a TCU. So the primary ECU doesn't determine when the transmission shifts. Well, where is my flathead? Right there. One more thing. The idle air control valve, I'm just gonna remove it from the intake of the supercharger because I can't access the lines. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got them all now. Alright, the head doesn't seem to want to budge. There we go. She's going to be pretty damn heavy because I got the supercharger hooked up still. Alright, we got the head removed. We got a lot of cleaning to do. With that supercharger on there, that is just insanely heavy. Alright, so I'm going to start taking the supercharger off the head and removing the cam gear, the little plastic cover, all the studs, pretty much everything I can. I'll probably remove the cam and all the caps and rocker arms because I'm going to have this thing completely cleaned. Alright, I'm just going to remove these top bolts and then flip it over and get the bottom. My camera battery is about to die. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. We got the head off. We're about to get the supercharger removed. Friday I'm going to make a video of cleaning all the engine bay up. And I want to do a wire tuck, so I'll probably explore the wiring to see what all I need in order to do that. Obviously I'm going to have to remove the fuse box, put it inside the cabin. I mean, there's just a bunch of shit that needs to be done. And I have a 3-core radiator that I'll probably install, and I need to move my oil cooler somewhere else. But next week, Monday, I will be starting to remove the interior because I really want to get the power windows and locks installed. 145,000 miles. I love this car. But yeah, so Friday I'll clean up the engine bay, and Monday I'll start pulling the interior and start working on the power locks and windows and mirrors and cruise control and the car alarm with remote start. I'm just rambling on at this point. I don't know how to end this video, so I'm gonna end it now. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell all your buddies. I appreciate it.